This is IBSportsTV.com. I'm BJ Griffin. We have a new #1 in the NFL rankings. The next level. Hand clap for him. He won week 3 and he also won week 2. The 2-time NFL champ, the next level. Congratulations to him. He's doing great. Folks, it is not too late to sign up for IBSportsTV.com and become a champion like the next level. You could sign up tomorrow and be the week 4 champ at the end of week 4. Who knows? Let's get into these NFL week 4 picks. Let's start with the Detroit Lions at the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the Detroit Lions are going to get back Nick Fairley on Sunday, more than likely, which will be his NFL debut. He's coming off of a foot injury, so that should really beef up that defensive line even more. Should open things up for Ndamukong Suh, and the Dallas Cowboys' young offensive line should have a lot of trouble defending these guys. Now, the Lions are 4th in pass defense, and that could already more than likely be attributed to that pass rush coming from that defensive line. Dallas Cowboys, on the other hand, could get pressure. They need to get pressure on Matthew Stafford with DeMarcus Ware and their defensive line, but I don't think Dallas's offensive line will be able to handle the pressure that they get from the Lions' defensive line. I'm going to take the Lions to win in Dallas. Next game, San Francisco 49ers at the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, Michael Vick is the big story here, as he always is for the Philadelphia Eagles. His fractured hand turned into a bruised hand, and him being out turned into him being questionable for this Sunday's game. And regardless of who plays, him, Kafka, or Vince Young, I think they get some good quarterback play in Philadelphia. Now, the 49ers need to get the run game going with Frank Gore and Kendall Hunter. If they do that, they can open up the pass game. And again, the San Francisco 49ers, as I say, every week have weapons in the pass game. Vernon Davis has had big games already, and he could have another big game here. But I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles to win this game. Mike Vick talking a lot about him being on the ground. He says he's always on the ground and he wants flags thrown for him. And you know what? Vince Young is right. Michael Vick is right, because Michael Vick does not get the flags thrown for him. More than likely it's because he runs and he's evasive, and the refs see him as a running back versus seeing him as a quarterback. I will take the Philadelphia Eagles to win this game, and they need to start throwing the flags for Mike Vick. Next game, Minnesota Vikings at the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings. Kansas City Chiefs need to get it together, but they are home here, so maybe they spark a little bit something here. Next game, Washington Redskins at the St. Louis Rams. If the St. Louis Rams get Steven Jackson back, they have a much better chance to win this game, because their run game will get going, and their run game will open up the pass game for them with Sam Bradford, and that'll start making things roll. They can start doing play action and all kinds of crazy, nice stuff on offense. Washington Redskins, again, I'm impressed with the new Rex Grossman and his newfound abilities. And a lot of his abilities can be attributed to the help he's getting from Tim Hightower. Great offseason pickup for the Redskins. Maybe one of the best, most underrated offseason pickups as it's turning out so far. I will take the Washington Redskins to beat the St. Louis Rams in St. Louis. Next game, New Orleans Saints at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Last we saw Jacksonville, they were rolling around in the mud in Carolina in their loss that they had down there against the Panthers. New Orleans still rolling with their 3-headed monster in the run game, and Drew Brees still looking good. I like the New Orleans Saints to win that game. Next game, Tennessee Titans at the Cleveland Browns. Now, Kenny Britt tore his ACL last week, and if you saw that play, he lost all his senses and just threw the ball at the defender. I don't know how smart that was, but Kenny Britt is out. He tore his ACL, and that's not good for the Tennessee Titans, because Kenny Britt was actually 5th in receiving yards with 289 receiving yards, so 5th in NFL. So that is not good for Tennessee to be losing a weapon like that. Chris Johnson needs to start running the ball again, because he is not. Last game he had 21 yards rushing, and that will not do at all. On the other hand, the Cleveland Browns are looking very good. Colt McCoy looking poised. He only threw 1 pick last week, and his receivers are making plays for him. Massaquoi and Cribbs both had big plays that really sealed the deal for their game. And I just like the way the Cleveland Browns look. Plus, they are more than likely gonna get back the beast, the animal, Peyton Hillis, and he will run crazy on his game coming back. I like the Cleveland Browns to win this game at home. I will take Peyton Hillis. Oh, excuse me, the Cleveland Browns. Next game, Pittsburgh Steelers at the Houston Texans. Now, Houston Texans could have some success here rushing and getting Ben Roethlisberger on the ground because they have some good pass rushers and guys such as Mario Williams. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers secondary, or their defensive backs more so, are a little bit questionable, and the Houston Texans have great receivers, and that is a bad combination. That is the key matchup here. Houston Texans receivers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers secondary. I think the Houston Texans win that matchup, and I will take the Houston Texans to win here at home. Next game, Buffalo Bills at the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, for those of you who do not realize, Andy Dalton is beasting. And if you don't realize because it is being masked by all the hype behind Cam Newton and the crazy numbers he's putting up. But Andy Dalton is beasting. Cincinnati in full rebuild mode, and they really have a great centerpiece to rebuild around in Andy Dalton. All the Bengals games so far have been close. Cedric Benson, not a bad running back. Not the best, but he is not bad. And they have a great chance to win this game. Now the Buffalo Bills, one of the biggest stories in the league, beat the New England Patriots last week. But of course, when the opposing team's quarterback throws 4 interceptions, it's hard not to win the game. Buffalo Bills looking great with Fred Jackson and Ryan Fitzpatrick. They are rolling. I don't think they stop rolling or the wheels stop turning for the Cincinnati Bengals, although the Bengals do look pretty good. I will take the Buffalo Bills to win this game. Next game, Carolina Panthers at the Chicago Bears. Now, Cam Newton really needs to start coming to his own here because he is going to play more than likely the toughest defense he has faced so far. So Cam Newton needs to limit those mistakes. He's still a rookie quarterback, and if you saw some of his previous games, he will still overthrow receivers. He will still throw picks. He's got to stop and really become what he knows he can be, and that is a champion. Now, Cam Newton's going to need some help from the run game with D'Angelo Williams. They need to get him going. As I say, Carolina can really start beating some good teams if they can get the run game going. Now, Jermichael Finley last week had a big game against the Chicago Bears, and I think with the great tight ends Carolina has, that Greg Olsen could very well come in here and have a good game against the Chicago Bears. Now, I'm going to take Chicago to win this game. Chicago needs to get Matt Forte involved, and they need to pressure Cam and show Cam Newton some stuff that he has not seen before. The Chicago Bears have the defense to do that. I will take Chicago Bears. Next game, Atlanta Falcons at the Seattle Seahawks. Now, the Atlanta Falcons have been so up and down, disappointing week 1, promised week 2 and beating the Eagles, and disappointing again week 3. Now, the Atlanta Falcons are the 3rd worst team in sacks. Matt Ryan is getting lit up back there in the pocket, and that explains a lot of his turnovers. Now, there's never an excuse to be a quarterback and be turning the ball over because, again, turnovers lose games. But that is a big reason why he's turning the ball over, because his offensive line is not protecting him. 2 fumbles last game and 2 picks, not characteristic of Matt Ryan and not good for that Atlanta Falcons football team. And another thing, the Atlanta Falcons, I don't know why they weren't running the ball last week. Maybe it was a little bit equalized by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, but I feel like if you are a running team, which I still feel like the Atlanta Falcons are, and they need to keep that in their offense. I know they're picking up all these receivers and pass catchers, but they need to stick to their run game because that is what the Atlanta Falcons are about, and that's how they win games. And I feel like even if the run game isn't going, you still need to stick with it. And if you do, you 3rd, 4th quarter will break away and have some big games. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna break away and have some big gains in the run game, and you will keep that defense honest. Now, the Seattle Seahawks, on the other hand, are on the uprise. Tavares Jackson looked pretty good in that win over the Cardinals, upset win. Sidney Rice over 100 yards receiving. Marshawn Lynch looking pretty good. They're rolling with the Seattle. They're rolling down there in Seattle. They're looking pretty darn good. And with the Seattle Seahawks on the uprise and the Atlanta Falcons on the decline, or at a real jumpy kind of status, I almost want to go with the Seattle Seahawks. But Atlanta Falcons, whole lot of weapons. I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons to win this game. Next game, New York Giants at the Arizona Cardinals. Eli Manning looked fantastic last week, 4 touchdown passes. Ahmad Bradshaw and Brendan Jacobs looked good with the run game of the New York Giants. And Arizona, they lost last week. But big matchup here is the New York Giants secondary against the Cardinals wide receivers. You just throw the ball up to Larry Fitzgerald and he's going to catch that thing. Todd Heap got lit up last week against the Seattle Seahawks. He got lit up and it did not look good. They actually threw a flag for that play, but it was clean. It was a clean hit. Todd Heap just needed to defend himself there. That wasn't good. But with the New York Giants secondary and the Cardinals wide receivers and the weapons that they have in that pass game, I'm actually going to pick the upset here. Yeah, as good as the Giants looked last week against the Eagles, I'm actually going to pick the upset here, and I'm actually going to pick the Arizona Cardinals to come out here with some steam to blow off after that loss, and I'm going to take the Arizona Cardinals to beat the New York Giants. Next game, Denver Broncos at the Green Bay Packers. I am taking the Pack. Next game, Miami Dolphins at the San Diego Chargers. Now, the Miami Dolphins have a solid rookie quarterback in Daniel Thomas, and that should open things up for Chad Henne, hopefully for the Miami Dolphins. San Diego Chargers, great balance on offense. Ryan Matthews, just a huge weapon and asset for the San Diego Chargers. Phillip Rivers, able to pass that ball around to his receivers, distribute that ball around. I like the San Diego Chargers to win there in San Diego. Next game, and one of the most interesting matchups of the week, New England Patriots at the Oakland Raiders. Oakland Raiders, of course, at home here. And if the New England Patriots didn't just get done losing to the Bills and Tom Brady didn't just get done throwing 4 interceptions. By the way, Tom Brady, new haircut. That's real good for Tom Brady. But Oakland Raiders, great run game. Michael Bush is a great backup to Darren McFadden. Darren McFadden is just the workhorse for that offense. Darren McFadden, great pass catcher out of the backfield, great rusher. You give him the ball, he is liable to score from anywhere, but I don't see the New England Patriots playing 2 bad games in a row. I will take the New England Patriots to win this game. Next game, big game, New York Jets at the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the Oakland Raiders just got done running all over the New York Jets with their run game, and I expect the Baltimore Ravens to come in here and possibly do the same thing with Ray Rice. Plus, the Baltimore Ravens have a lot more weapons in the pass game, and while that Baltimore Ravens defense is old, I think they still got what it takes to defend the New York Jets. I will take the Baltimore Ravens to win this game. Monday Night Football, Indianapolis Colts at the Tampa Bay Bucks. Indianapolis Colts giving the Steelers a run for their money last week, and they look pretty good. They need to start Curtis Painter. I don't know if it's official yet or not, but they need to go ahead and let this guy start. He knows the offense better. He made that one mistake early, but he really just had some good drives, made some good plays. They need to start Curtis Painter. I don't know why they didn't in the first place. Kerry Collins is not the guy you rely on to save your season. Not a bad quarterback though, but they need to start Curtis Painter. Now, the key here in this game against Tampa Bay is the Indianapolis defensive line, and they have some great pass rushers in Dwight Freeney and Jamal Anderson, and I think they can startle Josh Freeman because he's still young, and if he gets hit with some pressure, he's going to make mistakes. I think they can do that, and I think they can have a good game here against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Now, the Tampa Bay Bucks, of course, they need to keep Josh Freeman on his feet. They need to maintain that balance on offense, get LeGarrette Blount going again, and then that'll open up the pass game for Josh Freeman. Maybe hit some play action plays and do some the nice things you can do when you have a great run game. But Indianapolis Colts looking pretty good. Indianapolis Colts actually coming with a run game of their own with Joseph Adai, and I actually like the Indianapolis Colts to win here in Tampa. I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts to win this game. What are your picks? Make sure to sign up and make your picks on ibsportstv.com. You could be a champion like the next level. This is ibsportstv.com. I'm BJ Griffin. Sign up, follow us on Twitter. signing off.